Hello, and this video will be about channeling types. By meaning channeling types, I mean the ways of channeling. Before I started to do channeling, there were mm, when I started channeling, I realized that I was already channeling many times before, but I wasn't aware what it is and what it was, and so many people now write me and they're telling me different ideas, and so that's basically channeling. Only you don't know that yet. And another thing is, I think I'll be doing videos pretty much lately here because now it's season time for us, and we are printing charity cards. And I'm doing for basically this is my season work. So you can visit my website, which is eurica.lv. Okay, channeling types. The first one is dreams. Through dreams, you get information. Now there are differences because through dreams you can get fearful dreams, and that doesn't mean that this is information given to you. It means that you are receiving a fearful dream. What you can study for that is that what emotions do you have upon them, and why do you have these emotions? Because in normally you have zero reaction to everything that's going on. Now, but your body responds to it some kind of way. Now, to ask your body why do you have a in a way negative response to a dream that you have seen before. Well, it can be anything. I mean, negative response I would be is like angry, jealous, sad, fears, and so on and so on and so on. But before you go to sleep, you can enter a little bit like a dream state, or put inside yourself feelings that I want to get response. I want to know that. I want to see this. I want. And through dreams, you can get responses that can clarify your answer or your will that you win. But not always it happens. Sorry, not always it happens. But basically, lately I'm experiencing this whenever I wish to, or whatever I have a strong intention to know these things. For example, I would be going to sleep. Okay, I want to know when will I be rich. No answer. But I want to really know why did this happen to me, or how can I solve this, or why is this happening? And bam, some answers come, and the answers can be a guide for you to go in this direction to receive answers and so on. Another thing is intuition. Intuition is basically channeling. When you are doing, like, for example, like I was doing before, I was writing quotes online, or basically codes that how you can wish and what will happen and what manifests and so on and so on. I was writing quotes, and basically I didn't realize that while I was writing quotes, I entered some kind of a strange state where the quotes just come, and I was just writing. But when you don't have this state, you are like, okay, what should I write? What should I write? And I received many followers there, maybe some 4,000 followers in a few months just by writing quotes. But I don't do that anymore. But this is also a channeling state. Another channeling state, the first actual channeling state which I received was maybe many years ago, 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. I was meditating, and I was meditating, and I entered some kind of meditative state. I was like just meditating, and then something just locked for me. It was like, there is a flow in meditation, flow, and something like was locked. And then I understood that I know everything now. I know everything now. But I need somebody to ask me questions. And I entered this state 2 times. And then I was thinking, well, what was it? Maybe I should enter this state, call my brother to ask me some questions. And yeah, what do you want? I will enter meditation. That is a state where you just breathe and sit and do nothing actually. And I will enter this state, and you will ask me any questions that you like. His first question would be why, and then I decided I don't know actually the answer to that, so I didn't try that. But then eventually in time it happened again, so I somehow got into channeling by accident, you can say. And there is another interesting channeling way, and it's okay through meditation, through dreams, through intuition, and there's another channeling state. When you feel that you are being watched, this feeling is like in making you preparing, making you ready to do more and more closer open contact channeling. And the reason why nobody actually receives a strong channeling, like they're okay, I see this entity saying me this, is because basically your psyche is not ready for that. Your mental readiness is not ready for such a thing, because when you do go in contact with such beings, you instantly receive more and more and more greater and greater and greater understanding and greater energy. And this should be done in a peaceful, in a harmonized way, step by step. And therefore there are these, like, first you have dreams, then you see the universe is talking to you in basically showing up some numbers all the time some numbers, all the time some numbers, and all the time that's repeating, that you feel that somebody is like talking to you and like going to talk. Well, life itself is talking to you, is basically getting you ready and more closer for open contact. And while you are going closer and closer to open contact, strange things that may come up. Maybe some fears, maybe some, uh, depression. It can be everything. It can be even changes of job, changes in relationship. It can be anything, because you need now a more balanced way of living your life. Therefore, the more and more understanding can come. So, the most easiest example would be, I'm living I'm living in such a place. There's a printer, there's a paper cutter, there's storage, and there's bed on the other side. And again, there's something else, computer technology. And so, and in this noise, I would have not any space for my thoughts, any space for like inspiration, and just it will be not possible for that. And it can be really different ways, different ways. Even living in strong city is a trouble for me, because I really need fresh air in nature. So this is an example. So going, and pop, you will need to change your outer life. I mean outer life, exterior life, to something more closer and more representative to your new state. And there is now a channeling type which is called translation. And basically, what's going on? You are talking with somebody, and you're talking and talking and talking, and you notice that you are starting to talk really smart. For example, like past 5 minutes, I noticed that my mouth is just moving, and I'm saying something, but I'm not even thinking anything. Well, basically, this is another channeling state, really small state. The only resistor to this is the mind, and the mind says, "Well, what am I saying?" And then pop stops. Another channeling state is communication and more deeper seeing. For example, I look at you and I see your past life. Well, this is another channeling state, only a different state. You get to receive information through that more and more and more and more. There is the channeling state which I do, but I don't put many times I don't put videos online, because they're mostly private sessions and so on. I will be doing a public session pretty close, but again, it will be in Latvian language. So again, if you want to have me doing channeling for you, you just write me, and that's it. There's no problem. I have time. I have will again now, and I find it really exciting. And another channeling, yeah, the vocal channeling session, vocal channeling type is basically. There are many ways. For example, the entity takes over your body. Well, this never happens physically, but in a sense, it's like your body is aligned energetically. That's what happens. Energetically aligned to another entities energetically, and basically, your higher self is communicating with that being, or your guides are communicating with that being and sending you information. But in order to receive this information, your body must be in a much higher energy in order to receive this information. So this is one channeling, and I found it to be reasonable to do it for others, because when I do this channeling, there's information given to others. But when I wrote my last book, my previous book, it was my first book, which will be published, I think, in a month's time. I don't know, 30 pages, 26 pages, something about that, and it will be called "Thousand Laughing Buddhas: How I reached the level of that how I understood and reached the level of Buddhism in 7 days. This will be all about the book. And the vocal channeling, I think, is, from my perspective, and I found it to be useful only for other persons. For example, if I want, when I wrote this book, just a second, when I wrote this book, I was like instantly. I was in channeling, and basically I received images, pictures, and ideas. What should I write down there? And they were story based. This is for everybody. Everybody can do this. It's not difficult. And vocal channeling is basically tougher because there is there is in a way open contact with the beings telepathically. You receive the energy from that being, and also you receive the understanding from that being, and that understanding from that being, in my case, is more powerful than the energy itself, because the understanding is really mind changing, understanding changing and changing and changing and changing and changing, and opening in new dimensions. And these new dimensions, the new perspectives are really, you have to do it step by step, because you will reach a level where the new ideas, new understandings don't outbalance you that strongly, you know. And well, in an example would be, many people live their lives that think that the government is a structure that helps humanity, helps people, helps and so on and so on. That there is a president that follows the citizens' interests and so on. Well, this is my idea at the age of 15. And then I visited one smart man, and he explained me how the whole world is basically built up, and basically the moon is like an observer for planet, and so on and so on. And this was so mind changing to me. I was like, suddenly I felt like I was waking up, and now I said, now I know why there are these campaigns, why are there these wars, why are there this music being given, why do they say this, why do the politics say this, because it's a massive manipulation and interest in businesses. And this was so changing to me in the age of 15 that my whole point of observing completely changed, and it was like mind blowing for a month to me now. And this is the same with entities. The world isn't what you have thought it to be. It's a little bit, it's basically the same, but a little bit different. And you are becoming more and more aware of the God, nature itself. So it's also consciousness shifting, you would say. But I do it balanced. So basically, in channeling vocally for others, you have to be aware that energy, understanding, and energy, understanding, and physical readiness. So these three things will be very powerful. But once you do that, I think you are okay to do all other previously mentioned channels very easy. Another thing, easy channeling is basically when I started channeling, vocal channeling, I was like energized. There was like a huge tube on the top of my head open, and it was glowing in yellow and golden light. But then the channel opened, but it was already ready for me to be opened, and everybody can do this, but you have to find a reason. Now, for example, if I'm now chatting with somebody online, like, "Hey, how are you? My name's blah 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 blah," and it just says a question, and instantly I received from the channeling information, like an answer to this question. If I choose to receive it, I would say I can put it in a state of me. I can put me in a state where, okay, I just want to talk with him. No information about. Okay, that's fine. Well, that's not like okay, fine, but it's okay. And then there was yeah, that's one channeling. Well, basically, you are fully conscious. You're writing something on a computer, like I'm talking right here, and you can receive images and pictures quite normally without interruption. But the only thing is that how your mind disrupts all this information. And now I have never been across to full body channeling. I have done this. I was sitting, I opened my eyes, the entity was like, "Oh, it's so interesting! It's so interesting to be here," and but they don't do it because they have like only if I offer them this choice, and they will then only think about it by knowing that this is my body, this is my life, this is my world. They will never take your experience from you, from your body. They can only give information. They will not take anything from you. And this is, but I have done this and tried this and went to the open. I was like, but another big thing is that what many people don't understand or have not heard it before, that this is translation. There is no being inside of me that has his own understanding, his own vision, his own, everything from his world. This is just the body is tuned into a wave that it works as a interpreter. So imagine it could be mostly like you're talking on a mobile phone with somebody that is a million kilometers away, and you said something. Who's there? And there's like, shh, 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 I'm shh, shh, shh. And you're like, okay, what do you want? I want to know. Shh, shh, shh. And then what exactly do you want to know? I mean, there can happen a misunderstandings in the question, and misunderstandings from the interpretation that is received. So basically, there's nobody inside of you. There's nobody inside of you that knows everything. But once you become more and more familiar with this kind of channeling, you will open up to more higher and higher energy, meaning that more clearer and more precise information can be given. I'm not saying that the information is not precise. I mean that the information can be misunderstood. For example, you're asking about how do cars drive, and you would say, well, they just turn on the engine and drive. But maybe your question is, how does the engine work? How do you turn out your steering wheel, and so on and so on. And then another channeling level, which I believe is the highest level in Buddhism and also in Christianity, that is that you lower your higher self into your body. And basically, this is what all this is all about. What's happening about this channeling is that you prepare your energies, prepare your understandings for your higher self to come down. And when your higher self comes down, you have the like a creator. You are like a creator to the universe now. You are like a magnificent being. You have strong energy, strong so, and that, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So I think this is it for now. And then I have to put some paper inside. And then if you want channeling, just write me. No problem. I mean, that's not no problem, but we'll figure out some time and way. The only problem is a problem very often now is that somebody from America calls, somebody from Australia, somebody from India, and so on. So there is a huge time delay, but we can sort this out. Okay, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. I'll answer these comments and enjoy.